Yeah. Know somebody.
You don't know the lyrics,
I
and you
think so.
claim to like the Backstreet Boys. This is why NSYNC is better.
Yeah, right. This
Yeah,
is the
That's
reason.
one of the many reasons why.
I see. Welcome back, everybody. We're back with a new episode of the Translating Love podcast with me, Boy V.
And me, Danny.
Hello,
Governor.
hello, everybody.
Let's watch some Harry Potter.
We were busy last week watching Harry Potter on
And
the
drinking
telly.
tea.
Drinking tea and eating crumpets. That's why we weren't posting. No, that's not really why. That's not the reason, but never mind.
If you even noticed, we didn't have a new episode next week.
I guess some people
Last
noticed.
week, next week.
Oh, man. That's what I have to deal with every day.
Mm-hmm.
Send
Must be
prayers
hard.
and love.
Must be hard.
It is hard. So, why didn't we post last week?
I don't know. We just both weren't really feeling it last week.
That's true. And since we can be frank.
Let's be frank.
Let's be frank.
I'll be George and you be Frank.
I'm Frank. No,
Okay.
Let's be frank. So we started the podcast basically at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
A
A little before.
like a month and a half before. And it was super fun and it was well received, you could say. And we still get good feedback. We still get people messaging us once in a while. And I think that's the best thing about the whole thing, like getting gratifying messages about people can relate, and then also maybe we can give a little advice at people or just like some help with certain things in terms of most of the time in terms of like a distance relationship, like or migration stuff, visum stuff, especially in Austria here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super nice and fun. And then this year we, after like, I don't know, 50 or 60 episode,
Something like that, yeah.
we kind of needed a break.
Mm-hmm.
That was in July to August. So a month and a half, something like that. And it was good because we, could focus on something else and think of something else, not reminding us of that we have to post or we should think of a topic for the coming weeks. And we already said that in the last couple of episodes where we're thinking of, turning the whole thing around, switching it up. Right. It's all still very vague, but a main reason why we said let's switch it up is because we thought, or we think that we at this point can't really come up with unique content which is contextual to what we want to do or what we wanted to do with the podcast.
I mean, it's kind of like it's starting at the beginning. It felt really easy to come up with topics and also be like excited about them.
Yeah.
But it's starting to feel a little forced where we're waiting until the last minute to record. We're picking some random topic once we actually accidentally repeated a topic and didn't realize it until it was already posted.
I mean, it was fine.
It was
I think
still
we
fine.
had a different take on it, and that was still a good episode.
It was still fine, but it's starting to feel a little forced from our end, and we still really enjoy the conversation with each other, but the actual creating, I don't know, coming up with the ideas and then, I don't know, putting it out there, we feel like we're not getting too much out of it, if that's a way to put it.
Yeah, but I think also at this point, with especially that like process of putting a podcast episode out, we feel like we don't give it so much value that it's maybe worth your time, meaning you, the listener. And I think you can hear the wind.
It's crazy.
And I don't know. The fun is always also a part of the whole thing. And sure, there are some episodes where it's not that funny because the topic is more serious, but it should still be a fun process.
Right.
And that was like also a reason why we said, let's maybe think of something else or reinvent the whole thing where we still keep it similar, but I don't know. That's something that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, when we started the podcast, we were very open about the fact that we wanted to have a project that we did together, something that helps us to spend more quality time together instead of just, we're watching a movie or watching a movie,
or watching a show or going to the cinema.
Yeah. So it's like actual quality time with good conversation. And it was a good way to like enforce that in our relationship. But we never really sat down and said, how many episodes are we going to do? Or how long do we want to do this for? We just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, maybe it wouldn't have been the worst idea to say we split it up into like seasons, or we, where we have a set amount per season, and then, maybe each season has its own theme that we dealt. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I think we're both feeling a little burned out from the overall topic, the overall theme of the podcast.
Yeah, you don't want to repeat
we don't want it to
yourself
get boring
all the time. And right, you want it to keep interesting. And I think the main thing which we will keep going is like having super interesting topics where we have an opinion on, and maybe also some what is the word I'm thinking? Some experience. So we are not talking out of our asses.
Yeah.
But also guests. That was also like, I think that was the most fun thing when we had guests on, where we could also learn about things and maybe get to know people that we didn't know prior to that. So we'll probably keep that going as well. But yeah.
Although we should be totally honest and say, at this point, we don't know what direction we're going to take.
Yeah.
And to be also totally honest, we don't even know if we're going to continue it. Like, if we can't come up with something that we feel is interesting enough or that is unique enough that people will actually listen to it, we might not. So nothing's set in stone yet, but we just wanted to let you all in on like what we're feeling and what we're thinking, and that if we continue, it will probably be under a different name. So it won't be really connected to this podcast. It'll be its own new separate thing.
Yeah.
But will also be completely different. So
the thing is, if you
like us and like listening to us,
we will probably post a trailer at some point here. But for now, we'll continue this. Probably not each week, but once in a while we'll post something in here. And you will know if you go to our Instagrams and our website. You will see if we and when we post. But every Friday, like if we post on Friday, but probably not once a week anymore. But I also just want to say something else. Oh yeah, if we come up with something and if we, cook something up new, then we will post a trailer here, obviously, and link everything. So for those people who are interested in our bullshit, can just still can still listen in. But one thing we can say for sure at this point is that I will be the main host. And hey, we We agreed on
We
before
did
started.
not. We did not
Man,
have that
we
discussion.
agreed before we started recording. Don't
absolutely
be
did
like this
not.
right now. Oh my god. She's embarrassing me again.
Yeah.
Danielle,
that's the job of the main host, is to embarrass the co-host.
Can you please put your pants back on?
No.
Oh man. Oh.
No. We're gonna do an all nude podcast. Because they can't censor us in a podcast just for being nude. Because how can they
know? I heard
Such a long silence.
I heard an interesting story today.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's great.
And it was very funny, but I probably can't tell it here.
Why?
Because it was, I mean, I can if I'm not name names or if I don't say anything.
Change the names or just use like a letter for the name.
Yeah. I heard today that there is this young man, who got fired from his job multiple times because he didn't comply with the company rules, or he was hard to handle, or he didn't do his job well. And he sent what is it called? Like a letter to a company to say, please take me. What is it called? Like a Bewerbung in German.
Like a resume.
Yeah, it's not a resume. Resume
application?
Application, yeah. He sent an application to a company, and in it, he specified that he's a nudist.
What?
Right. He specified...
but being a nudist doesn't necessarily mean that...
No, he goes to nude beaches and he likes to be nude.
Okay, so he goes to work clothed.
Yeah.
And in public, he's clothed.
He still specified that in his application.
Okay.
And he also specified that he doesn't believe in COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun.
And people are like, oh, that's hygienic. A great guy for our company. I mean, the COVID thing we can look over, but the nudist thing, oh no, that wouldn't work.
What a hygienic person.
That's why when you said nude, that's why you think of that.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, what's going on in your life right now?
In my life,
yeah.
I mean, nothing.
Actually, nobody cares. So
wow.
Know what's going on?
Nothing really. Work.
Okay.
Work's getting a little bit easier, slowly.
Wow.
And I'm looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah, me too. Without COVID, hopefully.
If everything continues to go smoothly and nothing else changes in terms of travel shit, then my brother and my nephew are coming to Austria for Christmas, and my dad is coming for Christmas. And then, yeah,
we'll have a big COVID party. Big COVID cluster.
No.
We'll cook
We're
up
all
a new
vaccinated
variant.
And we all test ourselves very responsibly.
No, that's true.
As everyone should do.
That's true.
If you have a big gathering at Christmas, maybe test yourself first. Even if you're vaccinated. It's important. Do it.
Yep. Yeah. And I cooked a pie today.
Baked.
I cooked a baked pie today.
I was really proud of you. That was also partly why I didn't want to help you.
The thing is, you fucked up as I did, so I feel
technically I didn't fuck it up. We followed the recipe.
Yeah.
But
so I say.
But mine worked a little bit better than yours.
I mean, the thing is, I could have, if I would have looked into the oven sooner, I could have salvaged it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
He's referring to his pie crust. The first time he did it, it didn't really work.
I was like, I don't want to be here. Fuck you. You don't want to eat me.
But it was really funny because he comes upstairs and he's super frustrated and it didn't work. And I was just like, now you understand how I feel when I bake and it goes wrong. It's super frustrating.
Yeah, it's
because you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating. But when I came downstairs, I told him I would help him and I would help him make a second dough to try it again. And I look in the oven and he had just put the first dough on like a plate.
Yeah, I baked
and just baked the dough.
Yeah, it was kind of, I didn't want to throw it away.
We ended up eating it when it was done. It was really good.
We just ate the crust.
It was good crust.
Yeah.
Good pie crust. But the second time didn't work that much better than the first time.
No.
But he salvaged it, and then he made the filling all by himself and put a nice little almost lattice on top of the pie. It looks very nice.
So if any ladies are listening right now, you know where to...
He's going to get all cocky now because he baked once.
Hey, I baked multiple times in my life.
What else did you bake?
Oh, I baked multiple cakes before.
Not since I've been here.
No.
When have you baked once when I've been here?
I think I made donuts once or twice. And I made one time, I made this vegan poppy seed cake, which we threw away after 2 days because it got moldy. And banana bread I made a lot.
That's true. You did make banana bread a lot.
So there are some things I can do. Okay, let's end it here.
Okay.
Everybody,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Tell us what you think about our idea, of mixing it up. Please hit us up on Instagram.
And if you have ideas for the thing is we want to go away from the relationship topic. I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't pop up in the new podcast once in a while, but I think we don't want it to be focused on
incorporate it, obviously, but
we don't want that to be like the main thing like it is here. So if you have ideas of things that you're interested in or, just things that you think would make for a cool podcast, then let us know.
Let us know. And other than that, please consider subscribing and looking at our Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Rate the podcast.
Review the podcast. Rate the
theme
song. And other than that, we probably hear each other next week or 2 weeks or whenever.
Indeed.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.